Hey guys, so we just got the news in the last Nintendo Direct a couple weeks ago that there will be a Super Mario Galaxy movie as the sequel to the Mario movie a couple years ago. I can't believe it's already been almost 3 years since the original Mario movie and we're now getting a sequel. And this sequel is going to be about Galaxy. It's kind of crazy, but I'm all here for it. I'm really excited about it. So in this video, I am joined by The Beach and TND, and we are going to discuss our predictions and maybe some hopes about this Mario Galaxy movie.
Yeah, with the announcement of the Super Mario Galaxy movie, we all knew that the sequel was coming, but I was thinking it would be something more play it safe. The Super Mario World movie idea that was sort of leaked by Universal, but it was a wrong title. I thought it'd just be a continuation of the first movie, but no! They're going all out and doing Galaxy for the second movie, which is crazy, but also very ambitious.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was, I, I wasn't completely shocked because of certain leaks that happened a while back, but we kind of wrote them off initially. And also, I thought the next
Yeah,
logical
stop.
step.
You didn't believe those.
I did kind of believe it at first. The Yoshi render kind of looks. The Yoshi render looked kind of real.
it did,
The
yeah,
Mario render, the Luigi render, I was kind of more on the fence about, but Yoshi looked pretty illumination-y. I was like, maybe this is
yeah,
real. I don't know, but we all kind of wrote it off.
yeah.
Nah.
Um,
After the Rayman leak, I don't think that you would have thought that was real. I know I certainly didn't.
I mean,
I kind of thought it was real.
to be fair, things with movies tend to leak out like a little easier
Yeah,
than things for games, so they're a little more believable than like game
and
leaks.
like this isn't the first time the Mario movie stuff leaked from like an odd source. Remember with the Mario movie, it leaked in Peanut Butter Gamers Discord from a McDonald's
Oh
ad.
yeah, yeah, with Mario's design and everything. Yeah,
Yeah, so I was like, Yoshi looks kind of weird, but I was like, oh, wait a minute. Could this be like the same thing from the first Mario movie? But I kind of wrote it off because everyone was saying, it kind of looks fake. I was like, yeah, why would they do Galaxy like next anyways? But
also,
I guess they're going with it. I
you
really
know,
thought initially they were gonna do Worlds.
I actually had a prediction like a year and a half ago, some time around there, that like since Lumily was in the original movie, they would go
Yeah.
straight to Galaxy. That kind of does seem like a little bit of a hint there. And I also discussed, like, right after I reacted to the direct, I was like, them going to Galaxy next kind of makes sense, because, like, if they were
Yeah.
gonna do another, Bowser is the main villain story, it only makes sense for them to go all out with it rather than playing it safe and just doing like, oh, Bowser is just a little more evil this time. No, he's like going all out this time with Galaxy. I just think that makes a lot of sense. So for like a third movie,
Yeah.
maybe they could like do something even crazier. I mean, I'm kind of coping here, but I think it would be amazing if they did a Super Paper Mario movie for like the third movie, or at least something loosely based on that plot. Because them going to like the multiverse and multiple dimensions would make so much sense
Mm.
after space. I'm not sure if they'd go there because Nintendo doesn't always like to reference the Mario RPGs. Maybe Illumination is interested in it. I don't know. There
Yeah.
was like someone. I'm not sure if it was like a director or someone like a long time ago saying like that they were interested in Super Paper Mario being a movie. So maybe like there is some
Mm.
interest in Super Paper Mario being a movie, but that's kind of a discussion for another day. But them going to Galaxy, I did kind of think they might
It,
have happened. Like,
it lends itself to this to the big screen very well. I mean, especially Galaxy One, with how epic and cinematic it is. So, like, I guess on paper, I thought, like, wow, this is kind of a jump. But like with what you said, like, based on what we saw with kind of the teases from not just Lumily, but with dialogue that Princess Peach says to Mario, even, uh, it kind of makes sense that Galaxy is the next step forward now. Speaking about Bowser, I don't think Bowser is going to be the main antagonist in this movie. I think he's going to play second fiddle to somebody, but I don't know if we want to talk about that just yet.
Yeah.
Oh, we want to talk about it, all right. Mmm.
Yeah, this is a
Yeah, so
prediction after all. So
well, at this point, I don't even think it's a prediction anymore. I think it's pretty much all but confirmed. Uh, it seems like the one and only Bowser Jr. is making his debut in this movie, which I am actually very excited about. And I predicted because to me, it's like, how does Bowser level up from here? How does he escape from Peach's castle? And you know, my only like logical explanation is like, well, they have to do Bowser Jr. Like it makes the most sense. If you think about it, like Bowser just wants someone to love him. If you really think about it, he wants Peach's love, but like at the end of the day, I think he just wants attention. And I think, him having a son, him bonding with Junior in the movie will be really wholesome and really
yeah.
funny. Like, can you imagine a rendition of Peaches, but instead of Peaches, Bowser Jr. is singing "Mama, Mama, 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 Mama."
But yeah, I think
Some,
yeah, I think
no, go ahead.
Bowser Jr. being in this movie, I think they could definitely like explore like just that like father and son relation between Bowser and Bowser Jr. a lot. I think that would be great, kind of like showing how like Bowser is as a father and everything, because they've explored that a lot in recent Mario games. Like I remember like in Origami King even had like a few like lines of dialogue about that, and like Bowser's Fury kind of showed like Bowser Jr. like talking about like Bowser and everything. So I'm kind of interested in seeing like how they'll handle it like on the big screen and everything. So I'm
Here's what I'm
definitely.
wondering. Or go on.
Oh, yeah, you can go ahead.
You know how in the first Super Mario Brothers movie they introduced Mario's parents? Do you think we're gonna see
Yeah.
who Bowser Jr.'s mom actually is? I think that's the most
No.
exciting part of him
No.
being in the
I think
movie.
I
No.
think Miyamoto has like explicitly explained before. Anyone in the comments can correct me if I'm wrong, but like I think like Miyamoto like said that's like supposed to be like kind of like a secret or something, just because of like the joke about like Bowser Jr. thinking
Yeah.
like
Oh, like
Peach is his mom.
how we'll
There's
never know who Pearl's mom is from SpongeBob.
so there's two possibilities here that I think they're gonna go down the route with. They could do the Yoshi's Island route where maybe Bowser wishes upon a star for someone to love him, and a stork brings Bowser Jr. to him, right? That's one possible way they could do it. The other way is a few years has passed since Bowser has been kidnapped, and Kamek, trying to replace the royal line, uses some of Bowser's DNA and with magic creates Bowser Jr.
Or they could do a very Illumination thing and say that Bowser Jr. was like away at a Koopa summer camp during the events of the first movie.
Actually, I think that would be really cute.
Yeah, or he
I
was
think
at
that would
like
be
some
really
kind of
cute.
like Koopa boarding school or something like that during the events of the movie, and then like
That would
now
be
he's
really
back.
funny, actually. I like that. I like that a lot,
They
actually.
they
You
could
know
e-
what would
they
be
could e-
funny
they
if
could even
like
show it in the
at the
movie.
yeah, that could be the beginning scene, him coming back home from like boarding school, going like, "Papa, where are you?" And they're like, sorry to break this to you, Junior, but your dad's." Oh my God, actually, I kind of like that idea a lot. That's a great idea, Reese. I don't know if that's what they go with, but like, I really like that idea.
It does seem like a very like Illumination angle to handle it, like based on like how they've done like the Despicable Me movies and everything. It just kind of seems like something they do there.
Yeah, I think regardless, like Bowser Jr. has to be just like a brat. Like I need him to be the Bowser Jr. we all know and love. And speaking of, I think talking about casting, I think Reese, you and I both agree on this. There's no one, there's no one better to voice Bowser Jr. I mean, I'm sure maybe you could find a celebrity, but I think there's hope considering Kamek is voiced by Kevin Michael Richardson. And the fact that you want to maybe save money on like some other celebrities, I think it makes the most sense for Bowser Jr. to be voiced by none other the Nancy Cartwright, the voice of Bart Simpson. It is just too
Yes.
perfect. You can even advertise that. People know who Nancy Cartwright is. She's not a no-name voice actress. She knows what she's doing. You know, Kevin Michael Richardson is still like a name that they advertised even with the announcement of the Mario Galaxy movie, saying like who was returning in the cast, and he was a standout. You know, Nancy Cartwright can knock it out of the park as Bowser
If that's the
Jr.
case, if that's the case, and Bowser Jr. is making his movie debut in the Super Mario Galaxy movie, and is voiced by Nancy Cartwright, oh, that would be so perfect.
Yeah, I've seen so
It
many
would be
like
it would be so perfect.
I've seen so many memes and like edits of like Bart Simpson scenes with like Bowser Jr. over it, like either animators
Yes.
making those scenes or just like it is so perfect. Like her voice
It's
fits
literally,
Bowser
like-
Jr. so well.
Dude, if you go back to like some Bowser Jr. lines from the games, like
Yeah.
now that I hear it, I'm like, oh my god, there is like a Bart Simpson like
Yeah.
quality to it. Like,
Yeah, even
you know, like-
his voice in Sunshine sounds
Yes.
like very like eerily similar
Bart
to Bart
Simpson-y.
Simpson. Yeah, it's like
yeah,
it works so well.
yeah. I mean, I think the only thing I would note, just like as a film person and a director, I would say like her voice for Bowser Jr. would need to be like slightly pitched up and maybe like a little bit more of a brat than like Bart is, because Bart is like older than Bowser Jr. But essentially the same voice with like little tweaks would be amazing. That's one of the castings I really want from this movie. That needs to happen.
Oh,
Like, who
yeah.
else are you gonna get? Kevin Hart? Like, I don't want to see that. Bowser Jr. That'd be horrible. That'd
Yeah,
be
I see-
horrible.
I see so many people.
I mean,
like,
to be fair, it'd be so bad that it's funny. Like, think of the meme potential.
not in
for
a good
that.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all you think about.
I see so
Precisely.
many. I see so many people on my Discord server just post these like absurd casting predictions for the Mario movie,
Yeah.
like for like different things. Like there was like a poll with like who is going to voice Yoshi in the Mario movie, but we can get into that now. But like I saw a poll, it was like there were some like choices that made sense, like Frank Welker, but then there was like other ones like Tom Holland and Jason Momoa and Aquafina. I'm like, what are we doing here?
How about Lucas
you're gonna-
Crookshank?
You're actually gonna hate me, but I actually do think Tom Holland is a really likely choice for Yoshi. I really do think. So, like, okay, realistically, I know people want Yoshi not to speak, but he's gonna speak, and we gotta get over that. Because we said the same thing in the Mario movie, right? A lot of people were like, no, Mario can't speak in this movie. Or like for the Zelda movie, right? They were like, Link cannot speak. Link is going to speak in the Zelda movie. It's a movie,
Yeah.
you know? I think Tom Holland makes sense as Yoshi. I don't think... I mean, I don't know if he's the only choice, but like... I think it makes sense for like a couple of reasons. One, he has like a youthful voice in general when he talks, and he's really good at bringing out naivety, which I think is Yoshi will have in this movie. He's essentially a newborn in this film, if we think about it. Will he sound exactly like Tom Holland sounds like in Spider-Man? I don't know. Maybe they'll like tell him to do like a little bit of a baby voice. I have no idea. But I do think Yoshi's a big character. They're going to want to spin him off into like separate films. Chris Pratt is good friends with Tom Holland, and he has worked with him before on Onward, which was a Disney Pixar film, and in the Avengers movies. It does make sense that they would at least reach out to him to voice Yoshi. I don't see anyone else who could do a speaking role as Yoshi. Realistically,
I could see Frank Welker possibly doing it, like kind of like a Curious George-esque thing.
I wouldn't be opposed, but Yoshi is such a huge character. It's different than Bowser Jr., right? And I'm not trying to put like celebrities and voice actors on pedestals, but Hollywood clearly does that, right? I think Yoshi is such a huge character, and you could spin him off into his own movie. That Hollywood is thinking, yeah, we need an A-list celebrity to voice Yoshi. We can't just have um, a voice actor, which sucks. I do admit, like, it destroys like the impact of what a voice actor can do. But this is how they think, you know. I do think someone like Tom Holland will voice Yoshi, and I don't think it's going to be that bad if it's him. I think actually he might fit the character really, really well.
Yeah. It's just
As ridiculous as it seems.
yeah, that is just like like Tom Holland is always like it's like kind of up there with Chris Pratt as like the default choice for like things like that.
Yeah, I will say though, Chris Pratt did do a pretty good job as Mario at the end of the day. Like even as weird as it was and weird as it still is to hear him as Mario, it works in the context of the movie.
Yeah, but also another character that, like, I mean, come on, it's a Galaxy movie. This character has to be in it.
Yep.
There's Rosalina.
Oh yes.
How is
Yes.
who is gonna voice Rosalina in this movie? Because that's a pretty interesting one, honestly. I can't really think
Yeah,
of anyone off the top of my head.
I have a very out there prediction, and I will explain why. At first, I was gonna say Scarlett Johansson, but then I was like, she's in everything. That's not like it could work, I guess.
I mean,
but,
that
like,
still would be a
don't
pretty
know.
Illumination move to go there, but
Yeah, yeah. I mean, she has worked with Illumination before. That's why I was thinking about it. But no, I was trying to think like outside of that realm, right? Rosalina, Rosalina's backstory, right? Remember, she's a mother to all these star children, right? I'm sure she's gonna sing a lullaby to them at some point in the movie, right? Meaning, you might need to get someone who can sing to play as Rosalina. I'm not saying that's what's gonna happen, but you know, it could. My very out there prediction is Lady Gaga as Rosalina.
How did that even come to your mind?
She has a very like ethereal like vibe to her, and she has played characters that are relatively monotone in tone. And I think she can make a kick-ass lullaby song for the Mario Galaxy movie, or she could even make a song for the Mario Galaxy movie. I think it would be pretty big. That's my out there prediction. My pretty like low stakes prediction is I think maybe like Scarlett Johansson.
I think the Lady Gaga one would be more interesting.
Yeah.
Just because
I agree.
Just like
I
it'd be
agree.
funny marketing, and it actually or like suits the role.
I like that the
Yeah, I agree.
reaction. The reaction to that announcement would be huge too.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, listen, I thought about it for a while. I was like, I honestly think she's really the only one who could embody Rosalina, and also like she again. Jack Black made a song for the original Mario movie. Wouldn't it be awesome if Lady Gaga made her own song for the Mario Galaxy movie, and it had to do with Rosalina and the Lumas, or maybe her Rosalina and like a lost family member, which I actually have a big prediction for.
Yeah, the lost family member is going to be Rosalina's mom after seeing her in the meat dress, and then they never spoke after that.
Yeah, that's not what I meant, but I think I listen. I don't. Do I think it's gonna happen? I'm 50-50 on it. Maybe, maybe not. She's also very expensive, and to keep her on board for multiple movies might be a lot.
Too
But then
expensive
again,
for
like,
the budget.
I mean,
but then again, she might just be a one and done in Galaxy, and like
yeah,
maybe just
because they
so
are
maybe they will go all out.
yeah. Since this is like the Galaxy movie, they're probably gonna do something else after it, and they might Rosalina probably won't have as big of a role in like the next one, or only will show up as like a cameo or something. So I'm thinking they might go all out with Rosalina in this movie, and it won't really matter that much for like future movies. So that's kind of what I'm thinking.
I will say I unfortunately think Daisy will not be in the movie. I think
Yeah. I kind of agree.
I kind of gave. I really thought she was going to be just because they're pushing her like more than ever in like the theme parks and like the mainline games. But Rosalina is like Galaxy is big, and Rosalina's story is so big, and you have Bowser Jr. And then there's another character that I think is like way more likely that I think honestly would be way more exciting, which we'll get to soon. But that doesn't mean that. So what I think is actually going to happen is that the post-credit scene will be of Daisy.
Yeah, I definitely think. Yeah, I could definitely see Daisy being in the post credit scene. But yeah, I think like having Daisy in the movie would kind of take away from like the impact of having Rosalina in the movie a little bit.
Yeah,
I mean, like I'm not
it
saying
would
that
also
they.
just it would just overcrowd it too. I mean, you listen.
Yeah.
You got Yoshi. You gotta introduce Yoshi. Have him have an arc. You have to introduce Bowser Jr. You need to have him have an arc with his dad and set up his motivations for like why he wants to do what he wants to do. And then you need to set up Rosalina as well. And also, I just wanted to get this prediction out there. I think they're going to make Rosalina and Princess Peach related in the movie.
I
To
wouldn't be
what
I
surprised.
yeah, I
to
think they
what
could do that.
degree To what degree, I think they will be sisters, and I think there will be a strong family theme in this movie. You know, Bowser Jr., Peach, and Rosalina. I think there will be changes to Rosalina's backstory from the games, just to fit the new narrative. But it just kind of makes sense. Like Peach doesn't know where she comes from. She hinted in the Mario movie that there's a lot of galaxies out there, right? In terms of where she came from.
Yeah,
I don't think that's a
yeah,
coincidence.
I forgot that they said that in the first movie. Yeah, I'm like now it's making so much sense why they're doing Galaxy next. On top of the other thing that I
Yeah,
said.
it really depends on. It really depends on like. It really depends on what they do with Rosalina. Like they could also make Rosalina Peach's mother, but then like that would make her a little bit older. I see like Rosalina as more like an older sister that's been searching for her younger sister for like a long time, and she finally found her. Some sort of
Yeah.
like deal like that. But
Or imagine something
I
even
think that would be.
crazier. Something even crazier. Imagine if Rosalina is related. This might sound pretty crazy, but imagine if she's related to Mario and Luigi.
Oh, that would be pretty crazy. I I would say no just because like I think we need that payoff of where Peach comes from the first movie. I think they were setting that up pretty hard for a Galaxy movie. And I do think so the one thing I want to ask you guys is I think one of two things will happen, right? I think for sure Bowser's going to be broken out by Bowser Jr. Two, do you think Peach is going to get abducted by Rosalina? Because my theory was that Rosalina is her long lost older sister who has been searching the cosmos for her, and she finally finds her. And initially, it seems like she's getting kidnapped, but really, she's just trying to like reconnect with her sister.
Or
One or two or two. Um, it's gonna be Mario and Peach teaming up again, like they did in the first movie.
I'm thinking that like it might be where like initially like it starts out kind of well after like the Bowser Jr. stuff and everything. It might start out
Right.
similarly to Mario Galaxy 1 and like Peach's castle is like
Mm,
lifted up
right.
again. But then Rosalina breaks Peach out of like Bowser's fortress or whatever. And then it
Ah,
kind of like that's how like Rosalina is introduced in the movie and everything. So I think that would be
I
pretty
like that.
interesting.
Yes. Yeah, and you could even play it off as like, she's been searching for her for like maybe years or whatever, and maybe like her space traveling has like aged her like significantly. I don't know. There's ways that you could explain it. Um, I don't know. I think though I want to talk about a certain character that I really want to see in this character that's going to team up with Bowser Jr.
Oh,
Now,
Mushbert?
now, I don't think the Koopalings are going to be in this movie. For a few reasons. One, those. So if you're going to do the Koopalings, they all have to be voiced by a celebrity, and as we know, celebrities cost a lot of money. And uh, as ridiculous as it would to hear John Cena as Roy Koopa, I don't think they're going to go for that.
Sorry, Sochi.
Um, yeah, I just like. I think there's someone. So first of all, you don't want to over clutter the movie because we're already over cluttered with Bowser Jr., Rosalina, and Yoshi. So how do you consolidate that into a character that's going to be a lackey for Bowser Jr.? Someone who has a very straightforward motivation, who's fun, and is a fan favorite character. None other than the garlic eating weirdo himself, Wario. I think Wario is going to be a for hire like lackey that Bowser Jr. gets, and I think the way that he hires him is that Wario is he's kind of ripping off Super Mario Brothers plumbing service in Brooklyn with his own crappy commercial, right? Bowser Jr. takes a look at that. He calls Wario and he offers him a lot of money to break his dad out of prison or from the Mushroom Kingdom. So
Oh, yeah.
Wario's working with the motivation of greed. And oh my god, it would be so cool.
Yeah.
I need to say this, but like the only way I will accept Wario in this film, besides like the reasoning, is if Danny DeVito voices him.
Yes.
There's no other person who can voice Wario but Danny DeVito. Will it be weird
Yeah.
that Waluigi's not there? Yeah. At this point, like I just want Danny DeVito as Wario. It's too perfect.
Yeah,
Who's to say they
realistically.
can't have Waluigi though? Like he could be the comedic relief lackey in addition to Wario. Like
He
I'm trying to
could
think of
be.
like a good example,
He could be.
kind of
I
like
just.
the carnival toys from Toy Story 4, except
Oh,
actually
like Key
funnier.
and Peele. I
Kind of
can
like that.
listen. I thought that as well, but I'm thinking. I think if I'm Miyamoto, and I'm already not a fan of the doppelganger characters, I think Wario is just enough for me.
Yeah, I could
um,
see them going with like just Wario and everything. And
I
the
think
thing
just
is, even if
yeah,
Miyamoto isn't like a huge fan of the idea of Wario being in the movie, I feel like both Nintendo, like as a company, and Illumination would probably push for Wario. Wario is
yes.
such a popular fan favorite character that it would be weird if they waited until like the third movie to have him. It just makes so much sense to have
And
Wario here. And I think they could even do like a thing kind of similar to what they did with Sonic 2, kind of treat Wario like as like kind of like how they did with Knuckles, kind of as like the like direct
yes,
rival to Mario. They could even have like a
yes.
trailer like just showing off like just how Wario is just like the rival of Mario and everything. They could just have like this huge introduction of Wario. I think like they
You could
could
even.
Illumination could handle Wario so well because there's a lot of
Oh, they're
characters.
perfect.
There's a lot of characters
They're
in
perfect.
Despicable
Right up the
Me.
alley.
There's a lot of characters in Despicable Me that are like very Wario adjacent, I would say. So like and I guess like just Illumination in general, they always like to have like some kind of like silly like villain-esque
Part.
character. So I think like I cannot see an Illumination Mario movie sequel like or any of other of them going forward without Wario. Like Wario has to be
I
here, honestly. Like it just
I
makes so
I
much
also
sense.
I also think the filmmakers have a lot of leadway now that they've proven themselves to Nintendo, and I think they're also huge fans of Wario. I think what's probably happening, or what probably happened, is that Miyamoto really wanted the Koopalings or something to be Bowser Jr.'s team. Realistically, they were like, well, let's just have one lackey. And the filmmakers were probably like, oh my god, what if Wario was hired? It'd be funny too? Like, maybe his name isn't even Wario, right? Maybe his real name is Eugene, and he's just like this, like, sleazy guy who's like riding off the coattails of Mario's success, and he calls himself Wario, and he's like, I could do it better than the Mario Brothers, or something like that. He wears a cheap costume. It explains his like leathery like overalls and stuff, right? Oh my god, Danny DeVito's voice would be
Yeah.
perfect for that. And you don't have to explain much with Wario too. He's just kind of this greedy sleazeball who's banking off the idea that the Mario Brothers created, banking off the popularity of them by being a ripoff. And Bowser Jr. sees like the potential of him, being a ripoff. Maybe even like they take inspiration from the Nintendo Power comics where like Wario and Mario have like a deep history with well, not a deep history, but like Wario has a grudge against Mario from their childhood. Like there's a
Yeah.
lot they could do with it, and they could keep it simple. I think, yeah, dude, I really want Wario to be in this. That's the only thing I
Oh
want.
yeah.
That is really the only thing I want. Like, please. And if he is in it, Danny DeVito. That he's the only person who can voice him.
Yeah, I actually I have one more prediction for a character that I think could be
Okay.
in this movie, like something other than like Galaxy related. Since Mario Galaxy takes place in space, and I think they could go somewhere else with this, since there is like a lot of other space things to pull from, or at least like space related things to pull from Mario. What if
Right.
we see, and then the first Mario movie had a long forgotten like retro Mario character with Foreman Spike. What if we
Oh.
see a certain other retro forgotten Mario character in this movie who is also an alien? What if Tatanga is in this
Oh.
movie? Maybe working for Bowser, or maybe he could even be like the twist villain and was just one of Bowser's henchmen before, who teamed up when Bowser like went up to space. He ends up taking over
Ooh.
and is the villain at the end, and ends up causing like all of this chaos and everything, and ends up like kind of Bowser was like played in the end by Tatanga. That would just be incredible if that happens. Like that would be really cool if they like bring back Tatanga
That
like that.
that would be awesome. I think if Tatanga is in the movie, he will be a cameo at best or a reference at worst to set up Daisy for the next movie. Not because I don't want to see him.
I think if anything, he would be in the movie that Daisy's in. So if Daisy's somehow in this movie, it would make sense. But if not,
Right.
I don't really see it happening.
Right. I don't see it happening. I do have a prediction for one more character though, and it's a prediction for a new character arc for another character. So, Super Mario Galaxy introduced us to Captain Toad and the Toad Brigade. I think Toad is going to assume the role of Captain Toad in this movie, and he will have his Toad Brigade. Who will be his right-hand person? None other than Toadette. I think Toadette
Yes.
will be in this movie, and she will be his right-hand person. I also think she's going to be voiced by Kristen Schaal, who's voiced Mabel in Gravity Falls, and has voiced a bunch of other voices in big movies, like the Bob's Burgers movie, the Toy Story movie. She's voiced the Triceratops. I think her voice is perfect for Toadette to match Keegan-Michael Key's Toad. And I also think that she would be like really great comedic relief. You don't really need to explain much with her. She's just like Toad's right-hand person, and she's a part of the Toad Brigade.
Oh,
Um,
I could absolutely see Toadette being in this movie, because Nintendo has pushed Toadette quite a lot as like a pretty big character, kind of like alongside Daisy and like some other,
Right.
and even like Rosalina to a degree as well. But also, when you're saying
Right.
like kind of like Captain Toad and the Toad Brigade, do you think they'll make Captain Toad a separate character, or the same character as like Keegan-Michael Key's Toad?
It's gonna be the same Toad that Keegan-Michael Key is playing, just because one, I think it would be too confusing if you had two Toads. Two, when Toad was introduced in the Mario movie, guess whose theme was playing? The Captain Toad theme.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So it just it's a natural evolution. It makes sense. I
Yeah.
did want to ask you guys, how do you guys think the sequence of events will happen in the movie? Because like, yes, we're taking from Galaxy, but they also mentioned in a press release that it's going to be a movie for every Mario fan. So I'm assuming, obviously, we're thinking Wario is going to be in there too, right? So there's gonna it's gonna
Yeah.
Wario was never in the Galaxy games. I'm sure there's going to be things in the movie that are like references to other stuff. I mean, we saw the Old Spice leak with Luigi and what seems to be Tostarena, which is odd. I wonder
Yeah.
if they're making one of the desert planets Tostarena, you know?
Yeah, I think that's definitely possible. They'll pull like from other games too, like maybe like because the idea of Mario Galaxy, even like it's not very rigid. They could really do anything with like the
No.
galaxies in the game. Because even in the Galaxy games themselves, they referenced other games. Like they had the Throwback
Yeah.
Galaxy and Galaxy 2 based on Mario
hmm
64. And like also the one based on Sunshine, and yeah, they had like one Sunshine level that was in there. They had one with Piantas, and the penguins from Mario
Right.
64. They like Mario Galaxy did was very like referential of other like Mario games as well. So I could definitely see
Mm.
them doing the same thing here, but with even more Mario games like Galaxy,
I
or no, not Galaxy, it's Odyssey, Super Mario
right.
World. I could definitely see like a Super Mario World
Oh
theme for a
yes.
little bit, especially since they play the theme, and Yoshi is definitely gonna play
Right.
somewhat of a big role here. So I could
I
kind of see them
wonder
doing that.
I wonder if what's it called? Oh my gosh, I just brain farted. Uh shoot. Oh, this is what I was going to say. Um Now, one of the Old Spice leaks that we saw is Yoshi, and in the background is Brooklyn, and his Old Spice spray is called Brooklyn Bounce, which is interesting, right? It kind of tells us that he will be in Brooklyn, at least in the beginning of the movie, right? I mean, it kind of makes sense. His egg hatches in the sewers of Brooklyn. I wonder if either Mario's parents run into him and he causes kind of havoc eating everything, or what I think is going to happen, Wario gets him and he tries to trick him to use him and then he betrays him later in the movie.
That's definitely possible, honestly. I think, like, yeah, I definitely think it probably will. Like, there might be, like, a scene of it, like, starting out, like, in Brooklyn and everything. Like, Yoshi hatches. It shows, like, the Mario Bros. Doing their, like, everyday thing. Wario showing up, and stuff like that. So, that might be a possibility there. And then we also like talked about like how at the beginning, like how Bowser Jr. could like play a role. Like
Mhm.
he's like finishing like his boarding school or summer camp or whatever it is, and like coming home from
Right.
that. Like that, I feel like all those events will kind of like play. They'll be like separate, and then they'll kind of converge into like one thing. Like Bowser Jr. needs the get Bowser out, and then
Right.
stuff like that. Though I think that would happen relatively quickly because I think they want to have most of the movie take place in space. I don't think they're gonna wait
Yeah.
too long for that to happen. I do think the movie will probably be paced better than the first one. I think it will be a
Yeah, I
little
think so too.
I think it will be a little slower paced than the first movie. Maybe not quite
I hope so.
maybe not quite 2 hours long, but like maybe somewhere in between like
An
where
hour
how
45.
yeah, like an hour 45 maybe. I'm thinking I definitely think it will be a little longer than the first movie. I'm thinking at least maybe like at least like 20 25ish minutes longer than the first movie, I would say.
I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised. I feel the first movie was a bit too short, nothing too crazy, but having a longer runtime would be good. Going back to what you said about this being the Galaxy movie and like the structure of it, I think that judging just based on the old Spice leaks, it would make sense for them to have like the galaxies they explore just be like the kingdoms in Odyssey. Because if you look at
Yeah.
the amount of galaxies, there's a lot of them. And taking a look at Super Mario Galaxy 2 specifically, yes, the game is set in space, but there are so many varied locations and all the levels feel different. You could really just take any of Super Mario Odyssey's kingdoms and call them galaxies, or you could even do something like that, with Isle Delfino or Lake Lapcat.
Oh yeah, for sure. There was even I mean, there's a lot of things you could do with Galaxy. The one thing I wanted to ask you guys is how I think there's gonna be a team split off, right? There's a lot of characters here. Um, do we think Mario and Luigi are gonna team up in this movie, or do we think Mario and Luigi are gonna be separated again? But do we think Luigi's gonna have his own side quest? I think Miyamoto likes Luigi having his own little side quest happening on the side while Mario does his own thing. I think what most likely is going to happen is Mario, Peach, and maybe a Luma. Oh no, I'm sorry. Mario, Peach, and Yoshi are going to team up, and then Luigi and the Toad Brigade are going to team up in like different galaxies. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
They might do some team ups, but I think they're gonna have Mario and Luigi stick together
I
because that's one thing the first
Yeah.
movie lacked. I understand why they did it to explore the dynamic between Mario and Peach, but at the same time, towards the end of that movie, you had Mario and Luigi teaming up. So if we see more of that, that's still fresh and it's gonna be really cool.
yeah.
And also,
Oh,
I
I
just want to see
agree.
more of Luigi in the movie. I feel that was a problem with the first movie where Luigi just didn't have enough screen time.
I
Yeah,
agree.
I definitely think Luigi is going to play much bigger of a role in this movie than he did in the first one. And also, like, with the Toad Brigade, I think they're probably going to be separate just to kind of make them a little more distinct, I would say. I guess, like,
Hmm.
I guess it's the best way to put it. Maybe they're, like, doing, like, some sort of, like, separate mission or something. I could technically see them being separate and being their own thing, like maybe popping back at the Comet Observatory and like talking to the Mario Bros and Rosalina, like during like any important thing like going on. I could kind of see that happening. Also,
Yeah.
how do you think like the Comet Observatory is going to be portrayed? Are they going to be going back to that location a lot, or
Mm.
is it going to be like one big thing? One big scene, kind of like how Mario went to Peach's castle and then they just went off to like other places. Do you think they're going to be like? Do you think that will be like a central location of the movie, or do you think they'll only like show it for like certain scenes, like the
No,
most important ones?
I think it's a mix of both. I think it's a central area that they're going to be in. Why? I think it's because we're going to explore Rosalina and Peach's dynamic with each other, and I think in order to fully explore that, we need to like fully bask in the Comet Observatory. Whether that just means that Peach is just walking around with Rosalina as she explains like what this Comet Observatory is, right? I think it's going to play a central role in what the movie is. I think the big question mark really is what is Bowser and Bowser Jr. and maybe Wario up to? Like we know in the games that they wanted to collect all the power stars and the grand stars to take over the universe, but like I don't think we could retread water by doing the power star thing again.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe they're kidnapping Lumas to harness their power to take over the universe.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I definitely think like Lumas will like have a pretty big role in the movie, like especially since like Luma Lee was in the first movie. So yeah, I definitely think there's gonna be like a pretty big like thing around Lumas there. Also, I could totally see the Lumas being like the minions of this movie. Like we saw like that one Luma like
Yeah,
already like talking and like the like
right.
at the when they were showing the logo and everything. I could definitely see the Lumas being like the marketable character for this. Like a ton of merch for the
I
Lumas, a ton of Luma
For sure.
plushes and things. I could
I do
definitely see
also
them.
I do also see. I think there was something. Someone saying like, "Wait, so if this is a movie, how can the human characters breathe in space, right?" And it's a logical explanation. It's a logical like question. I think maybe the Lumas just give the characters the abilities to breathe in space or on planets. Like maybe they have like magical dust or something, or maybe like there's a Luma. Yeah, like you said, I think Lumas are going to be like very marketable. Maybe there's just a Luma on the way with their journey. Maybe it's Lumali.
Yeah, I think Yeah, I definitely think there could also be like other like Luma characters showing up. I could definitely see Lubba,
Sure.
like maybe
Oh, Lubba,
yeah,
yeah.
maybe Starship Mario is also like a thing in
Oh,
the
that would
movie.
be cool.
Like maybe like the Comet Observatory is there, but like maybe in order for Mario to travel around to different galaxies as like a logical explanation within the universe of a movie. I mean, in the games it makes sense that Mario could just shoot around to the different galaxies, but like in the movie
Right.
universe, it would make sense like to have Mario going around on some sort of ship or something like that. So Starship Mario
Right.
would kind of make sense to have there, and then maybe like Rosalina is like meet Lubba, who you'll be going with on Starship Mario to like explore the galaxies and try to stop Bowser or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense
Yeah.
for both of those things to be in the movie as well.
I guess it does make sense. I guess my question is more so like, okay, let's say Bowser and Bowser Jr. are harnessing the Lumas to take over the universe, right? Bowser's plot was to use the superstar uh, to to take over the kingdoms and use it to propose to Peach because he loves her, right? What if instead it's Bowser Jr. doing the inverse of that, where he's taking over the universe to show his mom how much he loves her, meaning Peach? Because I think it would be funny if he still thinks Princess Peach is his mom.
Yeah, I could definitely see them like adapting that element because that was like the very first thing Nintendo like did with Bowser Jr. like in like a story with him. So, and I mean like especially since that kind of like I could definitely see like the writers and like everyone involved with the movie kind of like gravitating towards that, like towards Bowser Jr.'s like introduction for like adapting him and everything. So I could definitely see them going at like that angle again with Bowser Jr. thinking Peach is his mother.
Yeah, yeah. There's still I still have like a lot of questions though. Like, we're still not set in stone with like how Yoshi will be portrayed, and he's been. I gotta be honest, he kind of seems sidelined compared to like all the other things that are going on in this movie. So I'm a little worried about Yoshi like not having like like being the star of the show. I'm sure they'll find a way to like make him a central character.
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe we'll see the chimp from Galaxy 2. I would love to see the chimp. He's one of my favorites. I'm
Yeah.
trying to think of other things as well. Oh, the big question I wanted to ask was, what power-ups do we think we'll see in the movie? Because the first movie, we saw, what was it? Super Mushroom, Fire Flower, Tanuki Suit, the Cat Suit, Mini Mushroom,
And then Peach got the ice flower.
and the Ice Flowers. That was like, what, 6 power-ups?
Yeah. I think we could maybe in this one. We are definitely seeing like the
B
galaxy powers,
Mario,
like B Mario, Boo
Cloud
Mario,
Mario.
Cloud Mario. Yeah, definitely
Oh,
Spring Mario.
you think we're getting all the Galaxy power-ups? I think we're only getting 2. I think we're only getting Cloud and B
Hmm.
Mario.
I mean, I don't know. I think like the the power-ups in Galaxy, I just think most of them are like iconic enough to see. I would say, like since they
Yeah,
are hinging this on being the Galaxy movie, I think we might see
right.
like a lot of them here. Of course, we're gonna see like the Fire Flower show up again.
Oh,
But
you know what I was thinking? You remember Jennifer Coolidge in the Minecraft movie?
um, yeah,
She was the lady who fell in love with the
yeah,
villager.
yeah,
She would be perfect as the queen bee
yeah.
on the bee galaxy. Oh my god, can you imagine? Oh my god.
Honey Queen is what Honey Queen is 100% gonna be in this movie. I mean, she was a
Yeah.
character in Mario Kart, so I definitely think we'll see her in this movie. And also, I think as a promotion, imagine if they add her into Mario Kart World, like around the time the movie
That'd
is
be
releasing.
hilarious. That would be hilarious. I mean, there's a lot of things they could do with it. I also can see like some wonder power ups going in there. Like I could see maybe the bubble flower or like
Actually, the
drill Mario.
drill makes a
Yeah,
lot of sense because there's already like the spin drill and
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I do see Drill Mario happening. Maybe some of the Yoshi power-ups from Galaxy 2, the fiery, the speedy one and like the blimp one. Do we think we're gonna see the Cape Feather?
Huh. I don't know. I mean, like, I feel like the Cape Feather would kind of feel redundant to use when you already have the launch stars
Yeah,
where Mario's just zipping around to the different planets. The Cape Feather wouldn't really have that
true.
much of an impact.
Oh,
So,
you know what I think? You know what I think they will do? If Wario's in this movie, wouldn't it be funny if they had the super carrot in there and while they were fighting each other?
yeah. Or maybe they'll have
That'd
like
be hilarious.
maybe if Wario like has
Or
his
Wario.
or Wario has his transformations from the Wario Land games. Maybe if like Mario
Oh,
like
that would be awesome.
maybe if Mario like hits Wario with something, he transforms like rather than getting hurt. It like that would be pretty cool.
That would be really cool. It would be really cool. Maybe even the Mega. Oh, maybe the Mega Mushroom is like the last power up Mario uses to fight Bowser and Bowser Jr.
Yeah. Yeah, and then
I
also
could
like
see that being like a cool inverse from the Mini Mushroom in the first movie.
yeah, also like what other bosses do you think we'll see like cuz I think it would be cool if we saw like
Boom, boom,
Poltergeist.
boom.
Yeah, I don't know about Boom Bim. There's like a lot of Galaxy like bosses
I could
that they could
see.
use.
I could see. I could see like instead of like the baby version that we saw in Galaxy, just straight up PD Piranha.
Maybe, yeah. I definitely think that's a possibility. Also, and since we're saying that Bowser Jr. will probably have a pretty big role, I definitely think like in one of I'm not sure if, like one of his encounters in the game will have like or
Mm.
maybe like a chase scene will have the Mega Hammer. That would be pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that would be cool. I think what would also be cool. Trying to think of other bosses.
King
Oh,
Caliente.
what's the squid? Yeah, King Caliente. I was just thinking of him. He needs to be in the movie, even if
Yeah.
it's just like a cameo.
Another. Also, like imagine you know the character Camella. I think Kamek could like
Yes.
team up with Camella. Like since like Kamek might need like another like Kamek's assistant or something like that. I think that would make a lot of sense.
Mm,
And then also like just
that'd be funny.
there's a lot of other ones too. There's like Top Maniac, Kingpin, um Baron Burr if they're like on like was that Freeze Flame Galaxy that he was on?
Yeah, I think it
Yeah,
was. Yeah.
Freeze Flame Galaxy. Then trying to think of the others. Gobblegut as well. Gobblegut is definitely a
Oh
possibility.
yes, Doppelgut. Yes.
There are
What about the
so
mole
many.
guy?
There are so many great bosses to choose from the Galaxy games that will make like such an impact. 'Cause I think the Galaxy games have like some of the best bosses in mainline Mario.
Yes,
Like it just
I agree.
they, I definitely
I
think
agree
they'll
100%.
I definitely think that's just like another reason why a Galaxy movie is just so exciting. Just like the fact that we might see some of these bosses like on the big screen.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm just a little. The only thing I'm a little concerned about is that it seems like they're doing a lot in this movie, and I know how the pace of the first movie was. I'm worried that it's gonna feel overstuffed and it's gonna be paced like fast. But on the other hand, I do think this is a team that listens to feedback, and I think that they're cooking up something really, really special.
yeah, I definitely think there's like a lot of possibilities here. But yeah, I'm really excited about this. I'm really excited to see more. Hopefully we'll get like another trailer like later this year, maybe like in November, December.
Yeah.
I'm thinking. So that's
I'm
definitely
I'm
going to be pretty
thinking
exciting.
sooner.
Yeah,
I'm thinking sooner, like
Yeah,
New,
actually-
New York Comic Con.
Yeah, I definitely think like it's and especially like since we're getting like the Galaxy remasters too, or I guess they're more like ports
Yeah.
than remasters, but like we're getting Galaxy 1 and 2 soon. So I definitely think they're gonna share more about this pretty soon, so I'm pretty excited. But do you have like any
I'm
final
really
thoughts on
excited.
this? Either Demeech or TND.
Um, Not really. I think I said everything I wanted to say. Like, I want Nancy Cartwright as Bowser Jr. I want Danny DeVito as Wario. It'd be really interesting to see Lady Gaga as Rosalina, as silly as that sounds. But I
I think
really
it
do think
works.
she'd fit. I think she'd fit the character really well. Kristen Shaw as Toadette. You know, yeah, I think it'd be. I did have one more question for you guys. If Mario's dad shows up, do you think Charles Martinet voices him or they replace him?
Oh, he's still
Probably
gonna.
replace him at this rate.
No, I don't think they're gonna replace him, honestly. Like, especially like since it was like so like iconic in the first movie, and like most people were like, "Oh yeah, it's Charles Martinet." I don't really think they're gonna replace him, honestly. But also, do you think we'll see like any character where Kevin Afghani is cameo, like doing a cameo?
No, I don't think so. Just because I think Charles Martinet has just more of the legacy with the voice of Mario than Kevin does. I'm not saying that he doesn't do a great job. He does, but I think it all just goes to Charles if he's because again we don't really know what the situation is with him being let go as Mario. So I would assume that he's back voicing Mario's dad, but who knows at this point.
Yeah. But Demeech, do
I
you have
gotta say, yeah, I'll end things off. I gotta say, when it comes to Nintendo and movies, I'm definitely more hyped towards the games. And while I feel like the recent Nintendo Direct just didn't have any major announcements in terms of games, I'm actually more excited for the Super Mario Galaxy movie than I thought. It's a really cool concept, there's a lot of ambition. I'm really hoping that Wario will be in the movie. And this could end up being the greatest video game movie of all time. It's still not that hard of a bar to cross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say like another thing, kind of like my final thoughts. I think like another reason why they like are going straight to Galaxy. I'm not sure if this would like is fully the reason, but maybe because like Sonic 3 did such a great job adapting Sonic Adventure 2. I'm thinking like cuz Galaxy is kind of almost it's not quite the analog, but it's almost kind of like the Galaxy 1 and 2 are kind of like the analog of like
Yeah.
of Sonic Adventure 2 in terms of mainline Mario. Because they're both like the big bombastic kind of forms of each of those series. So I'm thinking like that might have been like a little bit of an influence of why they went straight to Galaxy. I don't know. It's like because this kind of does seem to be like leaning on that like a little bit, and it kind of does seem like it will be like the Sonic 3 equivalent of the Mario movies. Even though we'll get more after this. Sonic's getting more after this too, but like I do think this is gonna be like the big event here. Like just like it's like a pretty big, like even bigger than the first movie was and everything. So I'm pretty excited. I feel like Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 definitely have a lot to pull from, and the fact they're going to pull from even more is pretty promising. I want to see at least one reference to like the Mario RPGs, maybe if it's like a cameo of like the Shroobs or something, if it's like an alien, if they're like aliens or something like that.
Well, the Shrooms would be perfect.
Yeah, I honestly think they might do. I know a lot of people are like, oh, Nintendo never references the RPGs, but we saw in concept art of the first movie that like some elements of Paper Mario, like some of the enemy variations, like the Goombas with the spiked helmets and different things like that were going to be like referenced in the first movie. So I'm thinking like we might see like maybe a brief cameo of like the Shroobs or something like that. Maybe like one of their ships passing by or something, maybe like a Shroob in the background or something. We might see like something like that. I just think it makes a lot of sense considering considering they like to squeeze a ton of references into these movies. It also would make sense like in terms of like I do think we'll see like a lot of like 2000s nostalgia as opposed to like the 80s and 90s nostalgia we saw in the first movie.
Right.
I think we might even
Right.
we might even see like some like 2000s era like music in the movie as well. I think
No.
I think that's definitely possible. I do think in terms
You
of
would
music,
not believe your eyes. It's 2 million fireflies.
I do think they're gonna go like heavier on like the. I do think they're gonna tone down the popular music a little bit and probably lean more into like the more orchestral music of Mario Galaxy. They're probably gonna have a couple scenes with like the pop music, but I think they're gonna lean more heavily into the orchestral stuff. But I do think in terms of like,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think like, and then on the other side of like 2000s nostalgia in terms of Mario, I do think we're gonna see like a lot more of that, like in terms of like Mario related 2000s nostalgia, maybe like a little bit of Sunshine representation, like maybe like a one of the galaxies has like Piantas and Cataquacks. Again, maybe
guess who else is a 2000s darling? Lady Gaga. And you know, if we were talking about pop songs in a movie, Lady Gaga singing a lullaby to Illuma, and it becomes a hit song, just like Peaches. I'm just saying.
I think you're secretly a Lady Gaga fan.
Not really.
So
I mean, I like.
More.
No, not really. I mean, I like Die with a Smile, but I don't really. I haven't listened to her stuff since the early 2000s. I'm just saying, from a marketing standpoint, like it would be like odd. It would be like a Mario 1 situation with the casting, but man, I think it would be really, really cool.
Yeah,
I think it would be too.
Yeah, but anyways, I think there's definitely a lot that could happen in a Galaxy movie, so I'm pretty excited.
Oh. My last thing is that Donkey Kong will not be in the movie whatsoever. I mean, it was kind of maybe I kind of expected it. Like,
I think there will be like a throwaway line about like something happening over on in the Jungle Kingdom or whatever, kind of alluding towards the movie or something like that. The absolute most I could see is a post-credit scene, though I think they'll save that for something Mario related. Maybe I'm thinking like maybe like it hints towards like the Donkey Kong movie. Like maybe they go right into that with all our like with like Diddy Kong and K. Rool or whatever. But like I definitely think that's pretty unlikely. Because
it could be. I mean, you could have one post-credit scene be for Daisy, and then you have one like set up the Donkey Kong movie. I mean, I don't see it like. I don't think that's what they're gonna do necessarily. I personally think next is gonna be Sunshine, but you know, you never know.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll just have to see. But anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to go check out The Meech and TND. And thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. And make sure to check out my Discord server and Blue Sky if you want to. Stay perky!